Hey guys, Dr. Shinakropi here. Listen, do you ever wonder why even people that are skinny or look fit, especially as they get older, sometimes run into problems with their blood glucose, insulin resistance, and eventually become diabetic? Well, the key is really in preserving the muscle mass, and that was shown really, really clearly by a groundbreaking article in Nature Aging, hot off the press, which clearly correlates losing muscle mass with becoming insulin resistant and then eventually pre-diabetic. So listen, being skinny fat is probably more dangerous than we even think, but man, you gotta preserve that muscle and it's critical. So hopefully by the end of this video, you guys have a dumbbell in your hand and you've got those resistant band exercises ready to go. But on that note, let's dive right in. The prospective cohort study followed 1,200 healthy, non-obese older adults, average age 65, BMI under 25, for 6 years. They looked at skeletal muscle mass utilizing DEXA scans, their insulin sensitivity, lifestyle factors like diet and exercise, followed them for 6 full years, year in and year out. So folks with the lowest muscle mass at baseline saw their insulin resistance skyrocket by 25 to 30% more than those that had robust muscles. This is a bombshell. This was independent of fat levels, age, or activity. So picture this: losing even 5% of your body muscle cranks up the risk of diabetes by 1.5. Why is that? That is because muscles aren't just for vanity. They do so many different things physiologically in the body, one of which is absorb about 80% of the circulating glucose in the body. So you can imagine if you lose muscle, you get more glucose going, your blood sugar levels go up. We have to fight that with insulin, and then eventually you become insulin resistant. Now, it was very interesting because there wasn't much difference between men and women. Women fared a little bit worse because of other postmenopausal issues, but ethnically, zero difference among the ethnicities, and therefore everyone really needs to pay attention to this. I don't really have anyone specifically to single out, okay? We're going to talk about preserving the muscle, but the happy part of this story is that it's not all doom. Those who maintain their muscle or rebuilt their muscle significantly stalled any progression of their insulin resistant and slashed their risk by about 40%. There was no calorie counting in this study, and it was just pure strength work. Surprisingly, visceral fat did not bulge the needle as much as preserving muscle did. This proves that in non-obese elders, age-related muscle mass loss is really a stealth villain, okay? More so even than the belly bulge, although we need to absolutely work on that, as that's also associated, obviously, with developing diabetes. In the study, 15% of those in the low muscle mass group eventually developed prediabetes versus those that preserved their muscle mass. It was only 6%. This is really important, and people really need to heed the advice. So for those 1 in 3 adults that are just barreling towards becoming, diabetes, this is one of the ways to prevent becoming diabetic. Obviously, maintaining a good weight and doing those other things are important, but maintaining your muscle mass is critical. How do we do that? Make sure we're taking in enough protein, but getting to the gym and doing those resistance exercises or just doing them at home, as we spoke about before, is key. It's empowering. It's all about body composition, more so even than the scale. So the key takeaway is low muscle mass, very, very bad for a lot of things. It's associated with development of osteopenia and osteoporosis, but now we really see how it correlates with blood sugar issues and the development of diabetes. So let's get to work. Go get those dumbbells in your hands. Let's get those resistance bands going. Hopefully this helps, and we'll see you on the next one.